Okay, hello, Jordan. So a few questions about the Arizona Cardinals offense. First of all, obviously a lot's been written about Cliff Kingsbury and the air raid attack. I mean, they do play some four wides, but it's a lot of three wides. Does it look how different? How would you describe the challenge of facing their passing attack?
Yeah, I mean, obviously very talented on that side of the football. Got a quarterback who's playing extremely well, running the football and throwing the football. Got really talented receivers on the outside, talented tight end, pass catching tight end. So, like I said, they're playing very well, extremely talented. So we're just gonna have to come out and execute at an extremely high level and limit their explosive plays.
Is their passing offense is it that different than Seattle's, or I mean, not.
I would say different variation of routes, concepts. The way that they try to, it's similar but different in some concepts.
Then you guys played Lamar last year and actually did a pretty decent job on him, the NFL MVP. Does that, having played him, and I mean, I realize Baltimore's offense is totally different, with big people and all that, but I mean, can you take some of that, the Lamar experience and the Russell Wilson experience against Kyler?
Yeah, I think you can take all those, any running quarterback in this league, you can kind of put them all in the same category as far as the style of plays that you might see, whether that's the zone read, the quarterback powers, the quarterback keeps. I mean, with Josh, we run some of the same stuff. So, I wouldn't put them in the same exact bucket, but similar buckets as far as players.
And then the quarterback power. Like you mentioned, the Bills did it last week with Zach Moss leading the way for Josh through the hole. I mean, there's no way they don't have a hat on a hat. You know what I mean? Against the defense in a lot of situations, you don't have numbers when the quarterback, and then they'll take a jet sweeper and have another guy. You know what I mean? So is it like? It's hard to stop. Somebody's got to win a one-on-one, right? I mean, how do you stop that?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Somebody's got to find a way to get off a block and make a play, and then at the same time, you got to be able to hit them when the time presents itself. To force them to not want to run the ball. So when we get clean shots on them, we got to find ways to hit them.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hey, Jordan, Sal Majorana over here in Rochester. Mark pretty much covered it for me, but I guess I'll ask you this. Is it possible that Kyler Murray could be a faster, more elusive player than Lamar? I mean, you've seen Lamar, you haven't seen Kyler, on the field, but is that possible when you watch film on him?
I think they're two totally different style of offenses that ask each player to do different things. I've always thought, I've always seen Kyler more as a quarterback who can drop back in the pocket and still make throws, and also able to move to read coverages and throw the football where it's supposed to go. Whereas I don't want to talk bad on any player, but at the same time Lamar's more and that offense is for him specifically, being able to make the reads on the zone read and find ways to win with his legs. So two totally different offenses, but at the same time, two very good football players.
Okay. Thanks, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan. Dante Lasting. Can you hear me?
Yep.
How you doing? What have you learned through 9 weeks of the season about this Bills team?
That we're a resilient group of football players. We've hit adversity. We've had low times. We've had bad times. Throughout the season, throughout games, and we found ways to get out of a slump, to get out of a bad situation. So, nobody blinks on this team. Nobody feels sorry for themselves, and guys just continue to come here and work each and every day, no matter the outcome of the game on Sunday.
Thank you. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Jordan, Thad Brown here, man. You got.
Dad,
I'll let you go, man. Go ahead.
Team, man. I almost blasted you on Twitter yesterday, but I had to keep it to myself, man. I was a little upset. was
I
a little
apologize.
upset.
You can blast me now if you want. I'm right here.
Nah, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep that in house, man. But I was a little upset after you said that.
I
Gave
hear
me
you.
some
I hear
fire
you.
though. Gave me some fire though.
All right. Well, I'm happy to help out if I can.
Yeah.
Not in that way, obviously, but let me ask you. If for that to give you fire, obviously you're super confident in your ability and have every right to be. But the progression of your career, when you get to the point where you're angry about someone saying you're not the best safety in the league, is there a point where you remember that happening and how you got to that point? Because it's one thing to feel good enough to play in this league. It's another one to feel super confident that you are the best at what you do in this league.
I believe I'm the best. That's just how I've always saw myself as the underdog of people kind of looking at me and telling me I was too small or too this or too that or the other. But right now at this point in my career, I do believe I'm one of the best safeties in this football league. So and like what happened yesterday, like I said, just shit like that continues to drive me because that's the type of shit that's been driving me my whole entire life. Of you're not good enough to go play D1 or you're not good enough to go play in the NFL, and then now I walk out on that field with no fear in anybody, and I really walk out on the field like I'm the best player on the football field each and every Sunday, and that's just my attitude.
And that's something you've had since the start, since high school, going back that far?
Man, I just going back, I can just remember, I went to a small high school, not, everybody always talks about the Jesuits and the Marist, and those are top high schools in Oregon. Nobody's ever talking about, I was a two-way, all state player on offense and defense, and still people not recognizing me. So that always has given me fire and motivation to continue to prove people wrong and continue to just be who I am and play like I play. I'm not sorry for how I play. I'm not, I'm gonna be out there making mistakes. But at the end of the day, I feel like I'm one of the best football players out there on the field.
Let me ask you one this week question. With getting ready for a third straight quarterback that can really hurt you with his legs, is it getting to the point in this league where when you face that kind of offense, it's not really a unique or different challenge for a defense anymore?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's different in a sense that, they're going to run their concept of plays to fit, how they like Kyler Murray to run the offense. But at the same time, you got to be able to stop the zone read. You got to be able to contain the quarterback and not let him out of the pocket. And then, when the opportunities present itself, he'll try to make some throws on the run. We got to make plays on the football. And that's just what it's going to come down to.
All right, man. Thanks. And you are welcome to blast me on Twitter anytime you want, man.
That's all good. Appreciate that.
Hey, Jordan, Josh Ray, just so you know, Thad motivates me every day as well. Hey, I want to continue a little bit on what Thad was saying. That chip on athlete's shoulder, is that the difference between the good ones and the great ones and the best of the best?
I think, everybody's different. I mean, I look at guys like Tom Brady, a perfect example of someone who was overlooked his whole career. And, a 6th round pick, being a backup for a couple years and then coming in and starting, and, obviously the rest is history. But I mean, you can really learn a lot from guys like that as far as, what it takes to play with a chip on your shoulder. Because like you said, at that point, you come in the league, you're 6th round, 7th round pick. Nobody believes in you. Nobody thinks any highly of you. So you got to earn every inch that you get. And so, I mean, that's just how I came in, man. I was a 7th round pick. Got cut from Philadelphia, ups and downs in Cleveland. Just had to earn every inch that I've gotten. And now I'm to the point in my career where I'm more confident than ever. I feel really good about this team. Feel really good about where I'm at, and personally off the field and on the field. So like I said, I truly believe that I'm one of the best safeties in this league.
Is it safe to say that you could be named to 7 straight Pro Bowls and you'd still have that chip on your shoulder?
100%. It's unlikely that it happened, based off the market that we play out here in Buffalo. But yes, for sure.
Hey, quick question about the Cardinals. Getting a chance to, I don't know how many times you've had a chance to play against a guy like Larry Fitzgerald. Asked Sean about Larry before practice, and he kind of compared him to Frank Gore. Just kind of, he's got that stigma, that aura that, he made. Sean's exact comment was, Larry Fitzgerald made the NFL better and the world better. When you get a chance to go up against a legend like that, is it something that you take a second. I know obviously once the game starts, it doesn't matter. But maybe before the game or after the game and just maybe say hi or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, so much respect for a guy like Larry, and look, I mean, I grew up watching him, and it's crazy. It's the same thing, like you said, when you played Tom Brady. You kind of had to sit back for a second throughout the week when you're watching film. Like, dang, I used to grow up watching this guy, run routes and watching him, make plays in championship games. And so, yeah, it's a kind of a a wide-eyed factor as you go throughout the week. But at the same time, it's an exciting time to go out there and compete against a guy like that. I'm excited for it.
Awesome. Thanks, Jordan. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, Jordan, Mike Catalana in Rochester.
Mike.
It used to be, even when you started playing, not that long ago, that the running guy as a quarterback, the mobile quarterback, was the different quarterback. Is it almost starting to get to the point where the pocket guy is the exception? I mean, it seems like every week it's either a running guy or a mobile quarterback that you guys are dealing with. Is that fair to say, how quickly it's sort of transformed in the league?
Yeah, and I think the game every year is changing. The dynamic of the game, the style of the game every year is changing. And so, like you say, you're starting to see that more and more, a lot more mobile quarterbacks in this league, and so that's just kind of the trend.
And in terms of things changing, offenses keep having, whether it's the rules, the way they play, scoring more points. These guys score 30 a game. Does that change what you guys feel is success? And I look at a week like last week. I mean, they scored 34, 400 yards, but you guys won the game. I mean, you pulled 4 turnovers. It's different in some ways. Isn't it now what is considered success for defenses?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, look back at the game last week, a huge win for us, and we were able to take the football away 4 times. And that's, you always want to win the turnover battle. That's a really good offense, and they made some plays, and we knew that they were going to make some plays. So I think just being able to handle the ups and downs of the football game, whether or not they're making plays or not, and just understanding the situation. And at the end of the day, we came out on top and we played well enough to win. Were there plays that we wish we could have back? Of course, there are in every single football game, but we played well enough to win. And so it's something that we can definitely build off of coming into this week.
Great, thank you.
Hey, Jordan, it's John Scott. I want to talk to you about, it appears in the search for your identity as a defense this season that being aggressive seems to be what you guys embrace the most. I know Micah mentioned that after the game that when Leslie's being aggressive, that seems to be when you guys are at your best. Do you agree with that? And if so, why?
Yeah, I think it just allows people to play free and just, and play loose. You're playing aggressive. You're going to go put your hands on somebody. You're going to go, you're going to go try to make a play. So, and that's just a style that Les has been calling it. We've been being super aggressive, and it's been helping. We can get pressure. Our D-line's been humming. So, and you saw the outcome. It was able to get us 4 turnovers last week.
So do you have those conversations with Leslie, and it's kind of a back and forth and say, hey,
yeah, I think
we're really embracing this?
Yeah, I think throughout the week it's continuous conversation as to how we feel about the game plan, and and we build them all the way up until the game. There's some things that might not feel comfortable in, they take out, but at the end of the day, it's still continuous conversation with us and the coaches and vice versa as to what they see and what they like, and what we see and what we like.
And finally, just how is that different than the way you guys have played defensively the previous few years when you guys have been, at least rankings wise, one of the best in the league?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I actually have to go back and look at the statistics, but for right now, we figured out something that we believe is working, and we've been a lot more aggressive the last couple of weeks, so we're staying with it. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's just, I guess, what you gotta say with that.